Hello, my friends. Wendell, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today, we're going to talk about letting go. In our hands, we hold the stories of our past. Today, are you ready to let that hurt go? You see, on my journey up and down, trying to figure out what was going on with me in and out of treatment centers, I was doing some journaling and listening to a podcast. It's called Take Back Your Mind. And in this particular day, the podcast was discussing a mighty oak. Now, if you know a little bit about my story, I climbed trees when I was young. We played neighborhood tag, and the oak tree was my home base most of the time. So when Reverend Beckwith talked about the acorn and the mighty oak, I kind of leaned in and looked to try to see what he was talking about. And his point being is the acorn has everything it needs to become a mighty oak. And I was like, wow, I never put the two together. I've always seen oak trees, I've always seen acorns, but I never put the evolution together and God's purpose for an oak tree. God's purpose for me is the same. Not to be an oak tree, but for me to be purposeful in my life. My purpose today is to help others discover the scar and deal with childhood trauma. And so I'm going to ask you to take a look at some of the pains, and I'm going to ask you to search yourself and write them down. And we're going to let go of some of these pains, the past pains. The acorn did it for me. It helped allowed me to let go of some of the beliefs I had that I was going to go to hell if I didn't do the right thing or anything of that nature. And so, whatever your hurt and pain might be, I'm going to ask you to, you know, hold on, hold on to hope, hold on to hope, hold on to hope. For we're about to rebuild from the ground up. So I'm gonna ask you to take your time, take a look into it, hold on to hope, for we're about to build this from the ground up. There's a famous quote from David R. Hawkins that says the pathway to enlightenment is through the crucible of one's own suffering. And no one can take away the pain but ourselves. So I'm going to ask you to continue to stick with me, continue to tune in to the videos. I got a lot of content coming, a lot of information on my journey to discovering and discarding and dealing with childhood trauma. And also, I'd like to invite you out to the comebackchampionsummit.com. That's comebackchampionsummit.com. 20-minute spot on the weekend of January 2nd through to January 26th. So I invite you out to come out, get your seat. Tickets are limited. It's a Zoom conference. I love to see you there. That's the comebackchampionsummit.com.